Welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Hex.
I'm Barjo.
And I am Darren.
This week on the show, action figures come to life in the silver screen sandbox of Disney Infinity.
You know, you'd make a good toy figure, Darren. How about a grumpy robot with deadly laser action? We'll also take a look at the perpetual platforming madness of Cloudberry Kingdom.
That game sounds friendly, but it's really not. Okay, I'm gonna go read some news, guys.
Okay. So, would your action figure have any, props or things that it comes with?
Oh, it'd have miniature cheese sandwiches for my built-in toasty oven.
Oh, nice. And maybe a little light-up button with a laser.
A real one.
Barjo here with the Spawn Point news from around the world. Microsoft has announced yet another policy reversal, revealing that the Xbox One will in fact be able to work without the new Kinect sensor plugged in. Microsoft had previously stated that the console would not function unless the sensor was connected. However, due to widespread privacy concerns, they will now allow the console to work without it. However, each console sold will still include a Kinect. SpaceX and PayPal co-founder Elon Musk has unveiled designs for a new form of transport called the Hyperloop. The system would use air pushed through holes similar to a hockey table to float small pods in tubes, while electromagnets would accelerate the pods up to almost 1,300 kilometers an hour. The designs claim to be cheaper to build than high-speed rail, unable to crash, immune to weather, have no turbulence, and could be completely solar-powered. Such a design would allow travel between Melbourne and Brisbane in just over an hour. However, there are currently no plans to build it. And that's the news for this week.
And then my action figure would have a little bow and arrow and just really great hair.
All right, Cloudberry Kingdom is hard. Very hard.
Yes, in the vein of controller-throwingly difficult games like Spelunky and Trials HD, Cloudberry Kingdom is a true test of your patience and reflexes.
Before we get into the gameplay, let's talk quickly about the development process, because it's rather interesting. Most of the game is constructed by artificial intelligence, just like me.
Of course, the AI was built by a human, though, Darren. So...
Well, that doesn't really matter, Barjo. It makes no difference. We all know that all video games are built upon complex mathematics, but the AI of Cloudberry Kingdom is something quite special. The developers at Pony wrote a program designed to create and play platformer levels. After 2 years cooking, the program is now able to construct intricate levels all on its own.
Yes, all of the stages are randomly generated, which means there's an infinite number of levels to play. Stages consist of horizontally and vertically moving platforms, lasers, bounce pads, spike traps, and that's pretty standard platforming stuff.
The difficulty isn't, however. Just look at this. Oh,
What?
whoa!
Oh, no way.
How could anyone get through all of that?
I did.
Really, Darren?
Affirmative. I could show you. Can I show you?
Well, maybe at the end of the review.
Yeah. Let's talk about the game modes. Story mode gives you unlimited attempts at challenging through the levels. Strewn throughout it are cutscenes which depict our hero Bob attempting to rescue his lady friend from the clutches of a mad king.
You think that's gonna stop him?
Yeah, I kinda do.
Yeah, the story is pretty weak.
I'd stay out of there for at least 10 minutes if I were you.
What did you eat?
Which is a shame because the claymation cross papercraft style of cutscenes was really cool. I would have liked to have seen them do more with that.
Affirmative. But the real action is in the arcade, which is all about score chasing. The challenge is to get through as many increasingly difficult levels as you can, or compete against the clock to set high scores. The longer you last without dying, the higher your score multiplier will get, and the better your score will be in the online leaderboards.
The unlock progression is well placed. As you complete levels, you'll unlock different characters and modes, and this is where the game shows its real flair. Unique character designs make the game more than just a difficult platformer, such as this guy who controls time, and this one who shifts in size.
Yeah, this game punishes you to the point of frustration, but it also gives you enough to keep you playing. And the controls are so fluid and responsive that it's hard to blame anyone but yourself when you inevitably slip up.
I never slip up. In fact, I can show you if you like.
Yes, all right, Darren, and at the end.
Oh, very well. There's a free play mode which lets you choose an ability and level and jump straight in. There's even a feature which lets you design your own level and character abilities.
By adjusting sliders, you can change your hero's abilities and the platform elements of each level. Though, if you're not clever about what you choose, you could end up with something like this.
There's local and co-op multiplayer as well, but I found with 4 players on the screen, it all got a bit difficult and messy, and people ended up being left behind.
The Bungie co-op mode tethers players together so no one can fall behind, but that causes some issues of its own. Being tied to you both really held me back. If you just let me show you how to play properly,
In a second, Darren, in a second. I think people will love the brutal challenge of this game, such as like with Spelunky or Trials HD, so I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I think the infinite levels and solid platforming will keep people hooked for a long time, so I'm giving it 8.
May I show you how good I am at this
Okay.
game? May I?
Show us your mad skills.
Whoa!
Oh, look out for the... Oh, you made it!
Oh, Darren!
Oh my god, I can't watch.
How are you doing this with your pasta scoopers?
Oh, this is amazing. Whoa, look at the
Whoa,
skills.
hacks.
Oh, you're so quick.
Gotta be hacks.
Affirmative. I have the
Hacks.
skills to pay the bills. And that's how it's done.
That was pretty impressive,
That
Darren.
was amazing.
Affirmative.
Let's get some question answering done. And first up on the questionnator this week is Diesel from Need for Speed Town in Queensland.
Can you type with your elbows?
I can, yeah. I
Can
just
you-
hit a few too many
Can you
keys at
speed
once.
type?
No. To be very precise.
Hello, I am asking you if there will be a new Need for Speed coming out. Please tell me. This sure is Diesel. It's called Need for Speed Rivals, and it's looking kind of like a cross between the last 2 games, with that open world of Most Wanted and Cops versus Races of Hot Pursuit.
Yeah, it looks like it's shaping up nicely, and I really like the idea of their all-drive system, which is basically meshing single-player and multiplayer together. So, for example, if you're in a race, then real players can drop in as cops to try and take you down, which could be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good they're trying something new with it. Also, Need for Speed is what's known as an annualized franchise, which basically means you can expect to get a new game in the series each year. So there's always a new one on the horizon, and Rivals are set to come out towards the end of the year on pretty much everything: PC, PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One. Ah!
Right, well, while we're on the subject of cars, let's go to this one from Caden, who is in Lowood, Queensland. Barjo and Hex, can you please review more car games like crashing games? Darren is a noob. I am crazy about cars and watch yous all the time. I am 6, so Mum only lets me watch good Gamma SP. Oh. Brum. Well, Caden, we certainly love a good car game with epic crashes, so we'll review as many as we can find.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a little game in development that we found and has some very cool crashes. It's called BeamNG.drive, so it's not a great name, but you can buy an early alpha version now or try a free demo, and you can get that on PC.
The demo just has a big wide open area to crash into things with one car, but it's a bit of fun. If you want to take a gamble and buy the alpha version, then you get a few proper environments and more cars to mess around with, but it might not be that good. We don't know, it's still an alpha.
We don't know. There's not much to do in the game at the moment other than crash into stuff, but they will be adding in Destruction Derby, street races, co-ops, and missions eventually.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on that one, but let's move on now to this one. It's a letter we got from Lisa in Aldinga Beach, South Australia.
Dear Hex and Barjo, this is my first time writing in. So straight to the point. 1. Do you know when and how much the Oculus Rift is? 2. Can you show me the trailer for Pokemon X and Y? 3. What are some great games for Game Boy Color, SNES, and N64? 4. Are there any games for the following animes that I can hopefully get here? Number 1, Deltora Quest. Number 2, Fuella Magi Madoka Magica. 3, Vampire Knight. 4, Fruits Basket. Number 5, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. Number 6, Oran High School Host Club. Thanks from Lisa. P.S. I've been watching your show since I was 9, and I'm now 13. P.P.S. Enclosed in this letter are 2 pictures, one of Hex and one of Barjo, drawn by me. Hope you like. P.P.P.S. Do these. Happy Dad! Bye for now. Well, firstly, thanks for the awesome drawings, Lisa. I think they're really great. You've got some talent. But as for your question, well, there's no release date locked into the Oculus Rift yet. And according to the official website, they simply say that they're trying to release it ASAP, as soon as possible.
Yes, but we have heard from the creators that they're hoping to release it next year. But clearly there's still a lot of work going into it, so it could potentially take longer.
Yeah. Next year sounds like a realistic guess, though, to us. And as for price, expect it to cost as much as the current developer kits, which are about $350. So we'd say somewhere around that.
And we can show you a bit of the Pokemon X and Y trailer. Roll the tape.
Still sore from all the typing. As for great games on Game Boy, SNES and 64, there's so many, where do we even start, Hex? Well, some of the classics on Game Boy Color include Pokemon Blue and Red and Gold and Silver, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, and Super Mario Land, just to name a few.
Yeah, and the SNES, so many to choose from, but you can't really go past Super Mario World and, of course, Donkey Kong Country.
And Rock and Roll Racing, the music in that, Hex.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
and there was Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, Street Fighter 2, Yoshi's Island. I mean, we could be here all day just listing awesome SNES games.
Yes, same with the 64, really. So many classics. Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Pilot Wings, Lilac Wars, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Donkey Kong 64, Wave Race, Mario Kart 64.
Yes, and how good was Blast Corps?
So good. And do you remember Rogue Squadron?
Oh, yeah. There's so many great games to choose from. I'd say that any of those games on any of those systems should keep you pretty happy, Lisa.
Indeed. As for if those animes have games, well, from what we can see, all of them other than Fruits Basket have video games, but sadly it doesn't seem like any of them have been released outside of Japan.
It's often the case with those anime games, but anyway, let's move on to this one that we actually have... well, it's another letter here from, I guess it's Lisa's brother, Paul, in Adinga Beach, South Australia. Hello, Hex and Barjo. I am 11 and wondering what Minecraft servers you think are the best. Also, have you used the server Shotbow? And if not, you should. What's your Steam account? Bye-bye. P.S. Darren is a massive mega noob, and he needs to learn to speak Aussie. G'day, mate. Get Darren to say that. You guys are awesome. Well, sorry to say, Paul, but we're so busy playing and reviewing all the games that come out that we don't really get much time to play Minecraft online, so I don't really know which I'd say is the server that I like the best.
Yeah, I'd suggest you ask your friends if any of them play online, and if so, which server. Remember, it's always better to get a recommendation from someone you trust.
As for our Steam account, well, we don't usually give them out because when we do, our friends list just fill up really fast.
Yeah, so it can be quite hard to organise play sessions, but we can totally get Darren to say, "G'day, mate. Hang on a sec. I got my new phone today, Hex.
Okay.
Can I see it? Is it fantastic?"
It's pink and
Yeah.
it sparkles a little bit.
Fantastic phone. It's ringing.
Hello, Darren speaking.
Darren Barjo here. Paul would like you to say, "G'day, mate,"
You speak Aussie.
in an Aussie accent.
Aussie accent.
Okay? So go for it.
Affirmative. Good day, mate.
No, Darren, g'day. G'day.
Good day.
No, g. Say g.
Grr.
Now say day.
Day.
Now put them together. G'day.
Grr.
Come on, Darren.
Come on, Darren, you can do it.
G'day. G'day.
Day, mate.
I think it's the best we're going to get from him, I think, Hex. Thanks for trying, Darren. You just keep at it.
Affirmative, but
Yeah.
I guess I need to work.
Yeah.
It was a really good effort. I think you did really
was
well. Big
certainly
improvement.
an effort.
Well, we've probably got time for one more question, so let's move on to this one from Hexahedron, who is in the Temple of Love, which is outside Australia.
Hang on, let me just check on Darren.
A for effort. Hello there. I have recently heard that the creator of Fez, Phil Fish, has left the video game industry and cancelled Fez 2. Please tell me if this is true, otherwise I may fragment again. Thank you. Barjo, do these faces. Hex, do these. Goose, do this one. Darren, go back to the Darren cave and sit in the naughty corner. Bye. P.S. I live for Fez and dubstep.
Yes, sorry to say, Hexahedron, but that is 100% true. Fez's creator recently announced he is leaving the games industry for good, and that Fez 2 was cancelled. That was pretty sad to hear because we quite liked Fez.
Yeah, Fez was an amazing game. Part of me is hoping he was just joking, but it certainly seems like he was very serious. Maybe he'll come back one day, though. On that note, I think we're out of time for this week. And don't forget, if you'd like to ask us a question, then you can go here and send it in.
Hex, what does dubstep sound like again?
Oh, I think it's like a wob, wob,
Oh, yeah, hang on. Darren, you still there?
Affirmative.
Can you play us out with some dubstep music?
Wob, wob.
Whoa.
Wob, wob.
the first one.
All right, Disney Infinity combines three things I love: animated films, figurines, and of course, games. Plus, you can even build your own worlds.
Well, there sure is a lot to talk about with Disney Infinity, but for now, let's just ignore all the toys except for the ones that come with the game. You get the platform and these three guys. If you played Skylanders, then you'll know the basic concept. Just like that game, you'll put your figurine on the platform and then they appear in the game.
For the Incredibles game, the developers have used characters from the original film, but the story is new. You play as Mr. Incredible, who's now brought his family out of hiding and is now living in a superhero island where he protects the city from a gang of supervillains led by Syndrome.
This is just a taste of the chaos my friends and I are about to unleash on this city. Catch y'all later!
It's good they're trying new stories rather than just rehashing the ones from the films. But the plots are still quite basic and only really an excuse to set up the missions. But that's okay, because the game is so much fun. It's essentially an open world game like LEGO City Undercover, except you have superpowers. And I think they've got the balance just right. You can go nuts with your superhero abilities, tossing cars and people around, but no one ever gets hurt. People always jump to safety from their cars, and if you fling them off a building, they always have a parachute ready.
Yes, they've created the perfect playful attitude in this game, haven't they? The city really is just one big playground. You can climb up skyscrapers and use your glider wings to fly around rooftops collecting these tokens. Now, they unlock goodies for the toy box mode. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Oh, and don't forget the hoverboards. All games should have them. Oh, hoverboards are the next best thing to my jet boots. So much fun.
Oh, I want a hoverboard so bad. I want one right now. Let's talk about one of the most interesting parts of this game, which is that you get a handful of full-length story campaigns. The Incredibles story gives you about 6 hours of superhero hijinks, but then whenever you plonk old Captain Jack Sparrow down on the platform, you can play through the Pirates of the Caribbean campaign.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with how fleshed out these different campaigns actually are. As Captain Jack, your open world is the ocean, and you can sail around to different islands collecting treasure and using your pistol and bombs.
Affirmative. Jack's old nemesis, Davy Jones, has unleashed the Kraken again.
Summon the Kraken!
And at the same time you're fighting this mighty sea monster, you also have to deal with the other boats that are shooting cannons at you.
Those sea battles are great, aren't they?
Arr!
I felt like a real captain as I was bringing my cannons to bear on enemy ships, but making sure I stayed out of line of their cannons. Oh, I love being a pirate. Hoist the mainsails, Hex! Arr, skippity arr!
Aye, aye, Captain, but first we need to tell the spoilings about Monsters University.
Can't you just smell the excitement in the air?
Yeah, I think that smell is you, Wazowski.
It's the game's third campaign, and it focuses on the rivalry between Sully's University and the campus next door, Fear Tech. So you'll be tearing down the graffiti on campus and then heading over to Fear Tech with a toilet paper launcher to settle the score.
Because these campaigns have their own stories, the game won't just let you drop in characters from different Disney universes. Unfortunately, the downside of this is that you'll need to buy one of the additional characters to enable two-player split screen.
Yes, it's a shame you can't get two-player campaigns out of the box. Cheeky.
Affirmative.
I think these figurines are really nicely designed, though. In fact, I like them so much, I think I'd actually make room on my figurine shelf to put them up there.
Ooh.
Yeah. But let's talk about the toy box mode.
Oh, wait a second, Barger. We haven't talked about the power discs yet. You can place these little discs under your character. This one is Bolt, the superpowered dog. Put him under Captain Jack and he'll also get to use Bolt's super strength.
Tell me, do you you have the courage to enlist on another adventure?
The discs are sold separately, but they're also in sealed packages like a Pokemon card, and that means that you don't know what you're going to get. And I think some spawnlings may be upset if they get double ups.
Yeah, but I think the idea is to swap them with your friends for the ones that you don't have.
I know, but the completist in me will want them all, and that would get very expensive indeed. Let's talk about Toy Box Mode now.
Oh, all right.
It's amazing. It's a bit like Minecraft in that you're dropped into an open world that you can then build some pretty spectacular structures in. You can shape the terrain how you want, and then you can put down roads and buildings.
Affirmative. It only took me a couple of hours to build my own Darrenville, complete with a giant statue of me in the middle, so all of the people in the city could gaze up at my magnificence. I gave myself some upgrades like these cannons for hands, and I even built my own obstacle course inside. Would you two like to try it out?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Sounds great, let's go.
Let's go!
Okay, Darren, what's the deal?
Well, Barjo, you have to try and make it to the top of my statue, then dive into the wading pool at the bottom.
Okay.
And Hex, you get to try and stop him. If Barjo dies, he loses and you win.
All right, I'm going inside.
Okay.
Oh, what's this? Darren, is this lava?
What do you think of my interior decoration?
Oh, hang on. I have a way to get out of this. I'm just gonna hover right over your lava, Darren. Oh, yes.
That's cheating.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's explosive
Whoa,
blocks.
whoa.
Oh, I'm gonna find my
Oh,
rocket
don't
with
destroy
them.
Darren.
Oh, rocket away.
Darren, it's around the top.
Rocket away.
All right, I'm gonna use my wand. And I'm gonna
I've got a
rip
wand as
hole
well.
in the wall. No, dude, you can't get me.
Oh, my rockets, these rockets are unlimited. This is awesome. All right, I'm just gonna keep firing away.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, what?
I got you.
A cannon.
Down
This is
you
cheating,
go.
Barjo.
Down you
No
go. Hey, the
way.
cannons are on your arms, Darren. I will use them if I want to. It's part of the game. All right, I'm gonna go for the plunge. I'm on the arm.
Hey, yeah, you should go for a jump.
It's glide time. Here we go.
Hang on. Yeah, you should go for it. Go for it. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm burning.
There was lava under the swimming pool.
That's not
Didn't
fair.
expect that, did you?
Hey, it's in the game. Besides, you cheated first. Winners.
Just wait till you see the level that I'm building. In fact, I had a lot of fun remodeling yours. I thought you'd look better being made out of cake, so I dropped one of the discs on. This one's from Wreck-It Ralph, and activating it gives the world a sugar-coated paint job.
Yum. And we've barely scratched the surface of the game creation tools. I mean, no offense, Darren, but your city was pretty basic. With enough time, it's possible to build levels with checkpoints, enemies to fight, objectives, scoreboards, different camera angles. I mean, it's pretty incredible. I mean, I can't wait to see what the spawnlings create.
Oh, affirmative. And another nice feature is that toy box levels can be shared across consoles. So if someone builds a level on 360, then people on PS3 and Wii U will be able to play through it as well.
What a fantastic idea. I wish more games shared content over multiple platforms like that. But we should wrap this up, Hex. Final thoughts?
Well, there's so much game here, and we haven't even got to the campaigns with Lone Ranger and Cars.
Welcome home, amigos. It's good to see you too, fellas.
Well, this is top quality gameplay set in some of my favourite virtual worlds with my favourite characters. I'm giving it 9 out of 10 rubber chickens.
We should point out that this is a game which would cost you a lot of money if you wanted all the figurines, but you don't absolutely need to do that. You can finish the game with what you get and still have a great time. You'll just miss out on a few things here and there. I love this game. There is so much to do, and it's the first real competitor to Skylanders. In fact, I think it's much better than Skylanders, and I'm giving it 9.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Now, Darren, you're in with all the devs. Tell us, is there going to be a Star Wars campaign?
I've been sworn to secrecy on that, Hex.
Oh, Darren, tell us. You know that Disney owned LucasArts now that owns Star Wars, so of course it's going to be. Tell us, Darren, just confirm
Oh, you'll
it.
just have to wait and see.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's Spawnlings, but next week be prepared for a journey into outer space.
Negative. Kerry banned you two from interplanetary excursions after what happened last time.
No, Darren, not a real trip, a virtual trip into space.
Oh, well, that's all right then, I guess. I do hope Take on Mars captures the pleasurable minus 90 degrees ambiance and faint vanilla scent of the actual planet surface.
Well, we'll see, Darren. Until next time, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Barjo out.
Darren out.
Vanilla, really?
Oh, affirmative, but you wouldn't be able to take your space helmet off to smell it. You'd freeze.
I wonder what Mercury smell like. Fried chicken? It's pretty warm there.
Cayenne pepper or something.
So close to the sun.
I like something that would be a little bit spicy.
Do you two know how science works?
Oh, yes.